So I need Watson to hold that, let Holmes come out into the centre, and then Watson has to turn that and Holmes can retrieve the dagger. Right. Well, what I want to do first is let Watson out and let him go have a look. Up the up Mithras's back passage. As a medical man, he's well suited for this task, I feel. Okay. There is...
This mechanism seems inactive. Most likely the door it controls has already been opened.
Yeah, so that probably just opens that door. This, on the other hand, can also be used to let Holmes out. Okay. Maybe this is how we have to both get out. Of course. Because we have to leave here, but one has to hold it open. So you bring someone through here and then he can't get out. So that's the way we let Holmes out. Alright, cool. Bye, Sherlock. It's been fun. I'm leaving now. I'm joking. Look at this then. Somebody's been through here because somebody put a plank here, look.
I cannot leave Holmes trapped here alone, even though he did ruin my favourite handkerchief.
You're a better man than I, Watson. I would have just left him there. Alright. So yes, somebody somewhere has been here before. Okay, so we close that. We'll let Watson in. Oh. That was the wrong one. That's that one there, duh. So now I'm kind of... I have to do this. Goodness gracious. We've got to start all again. I've got to get Holmes out of there by using this. Because I can no longer get to the lever that opens that. Because it's on the other side of a gate that is now closed and I have no other means of opening. So we're going to have to lock Watson in there. No, hang on a minute. How do we get Watson out of there? You know, I can get him to open it. But he can't step through. Kind of buggered this, haven't I? No, I refuse to believe. Alright. Nope. Nope. Okay, we do it this way. Ah! Wrong. My finger twitched. Left trigger, deactivate that. Holmes is now locked in the triple room again. Alright, yeah. We can let him in. need to just do this one. There we go. Right, forgot that opened that one. Right, that one I believe opened the inner one, didn't it? No, it can't. No, that opens that one. Duh. But my brain's melting, guys. Ignore me. This one lets Watson through. We didn't need Watson to activate this. That was pointless. Okay. So now we need Watson to do the first one. That will let Holmes back out. Then we get the golden dagger. All right. So we can probably imagine either there are co-conspirators involved, or whoever came here didn't get their hands on the dagger, but they were able to craft the replica, which is more likely. This broken lamp, though, why is the lamp broken, I wonder? Maybe they tried to climb? I mean, they should have no, because they can't get over anyway. Why would they? Why was the lamp broken?
The golden knife of Mithras. A long-lost relic has resurfaced. Watson, it is time to conclude this case. Excellent. Now, we should find another way of getting out of here.
Okay, so even if one person could get their hands on it, they can't get out the same way they came in, so they still need two people to get out. Alright, let's get Watson out of there. So we need Watson to let go of that. He needs to hold this open to let Holmes back in. So that Holmes can let Watson through that first of the two doors. No, that's the wrong one. The other one. Watson can go through, and then Sherlock can open up the middle one to let Watson through the outer door. And then he can do the left one to open up the exit door. So this is a two-person operation to get out. Because you need one person to hold the door open while the other goes through, who will then open up the way out for the person holding this door open first. And then open the door from this side. Right? That's got to be a two-person operation. So who propped this open on the way out? As though they intended to come back this way. Maybe this is the way they got in. Maybe they found the way in and propped the door open and got in that way. Maybe they didn't come through the Mithras, you know, Ascension Order puzzle. But then that would have been the easy way to come in. Why did they prop this open? They would have had a way straight in if they'd have done that. Sherlock's reading the blurriest book ever written, by the way. That's not a graphical glitch. He's just trying to decipher what the book originally was before it was submerged in water. Okay, so the golden knife and the stolen notes. According to Sir Rodney, he was about to make a remarkable discovery, so he thought he knew the knife was down there, which it was. He was working on his way to get there. Sir Rodney's secret was an important discovery, a metaphorical bomb. He could use it as a powerful means of annihilating anyone who stood in his way, that he alone might take fame and glory. So Garrow's illness becomes a motive of paranoia. Garrow's suffering was too great. After Sir Rodney's grand discovery, Garrow lived in fear of a Mithras curse and developed heightened feelings of paranoia. So therefore, with the silver knife, he killed him. That's one way of looking at it. We have found and utilized all the clues. So that's one potential. The possibility that Garrow found his way here in his mania and then had the wherewithal to create a silver knife and a mold. The guy's an accountant for the city. He's an administrator. But he dabbles in archaeology. He's a dilettante, you know, he dabbles in it. And we can infer that he definitely threw the silver in there if we believe it's a silver knife. Let's have a look at the other potential secrets. So instead, Garrow is simply weak. He's a victim of over-medication and hallucinations. So that no longer becomes paranoia. What if we felt that Blinkhorn was humiliated instead? So he gets a motive of vengeance. Blinkhorn is a deserving specialist who is aware he is about to be cast aside over a major discovery and lose his chance of a lifetime. Because Sir Rodney said to him he wanted him to attend a society gathering, and then he came back to him and said, "No, you're not coming now. You're not allowed to come." Rather aggressively. Which is Blinkhorn's style, right? Not which is Bentcliffe's style, the victim. So then we have a potential for Blinkhorn with a silver knife. Okay. What if we also said that Pitkin was worried? Feels uncomfortable postponing the public opening of the Roman baths because of Sir Rodney and Sir Blackmore, Lord Blackmore. He was angry because of this. He wanted to just get on with opening. He doesn't care about what could be found anymore. So Blinkhorn and he don't really work together. So Blinkhorn instead was just interested in what Sir Rodney was doing. He Pitkin wanted to stop the takeover. So he's the owner of the baths. He will surely lose them, for this major discovery will change everything. It will turn the baths into a permanent excavation site to preserve the research. So he might lose his business, and it will never achieve the commercial status that Pitkin desires. So to stop that, Pitkin uses a silver knife. He's not the kind of person, though, who would just know how to put together a mold like that, right? Whoever made the replica knife, because the real one can't possibly have been used. It's been seen, somebody's laid eyes on it. So it's going to be the Blinkhorn or Garrow, because they're the only ones interested enough in archaeology. I don't think Pitkin did this. So this isn't likely. So instead, Pitkin simply had hoped that this would all work out in his favour. So it's one of these guys. And that's if we consider a silver knife. Okay. So again, if we said Garrow is the crazy who did it because of paranoia, what if the steam moisture or the wetness in the blood was actually because it was an ice knife? Okay. So instead we have Garrow making an ice knife. Would Garrow have known how to make the ice knife with that ice maker? We found the ice maker down in the basement, underneath the baths, under the frigidarium, right? And the frigidarium is the cold room, so it was the best place to do this, to make an ice knife down there. There's also a place where maybe Sir Rodney was making himself a bowl of ice cream. Because we also found the photo negative down there, along with the ice maker and a huge bag of salt. He may have been trying to freeze something, but we found the mould at the St. Albans dig site. Silver seems like a very expensive weapon to kill someone off with. Well, not really, because these were just silver coins. Money. Somebody melted money. You know? Because we tested that silver against a silver coin, like a little, just, you know, a few pennies worth of silver coin. And it was the same grade of silver. So somebody melted money down. Why not just use that money to buy an actual knife? Well, I mean, they wanted to make the knife to fit the myth of the Curse of Mithras, so that it becomes part of the mystery as to who killed him, because they didn't find the evidence, because it got thrown in the brazier and melted, right? There's a lot of premeditation has gone into this. Killed him with the fruits of capitalism. Yes. We get deep into that kind of psychology, then yeah, maybe Pitkin did that because he was trying to preserve his own. But anyway, if we stick with an ice knife, then we could say that Garrow did that, or, again, no, he didn't. So, instead, Blinkhorn was humiliated and he did it. Blinkhorn would have the necessary skills to make that mould, first of all. This is the thing, it depends whether or not Garrow or Blinkhorn have the skills to make the mould. If you assume it was the ice knife, then what was the point of the melted stuff in the brazier? Right, I'll get onto that in a moment. Let me finish working these out and then we'll go back over that. But yeah, I want to come on to that as well as part of the whole silver thing. So Blinkhorn humiliated with an ice knife. So Blinkhorn could have, or Garrow or Pitkin could have gone for the mould. They could have made an ice knife in the frigidarium and put it in a bowl of sorry, in the ice bucket. Okay, and then they would have to take the mould back to the St. Albans dig site. This is why I don't favour the ice knife. That's too many things to happen in the course of a morning for them to then come back again, unseen all this time, by the doorman, who was only gone for 20 minutes. That's not enough time. Okay, so an ice knife wouldn't have survived long enough to then be brought back in an ice tub. That's the thing I don't get that, you know? I don't think it's an ice knife. I've already missed a lot of this because I'm just throwing ideas around to confuse Wolf. No. I'm easily confused anyway, so it shouldn't take you that long. Right. So finally, again, Blinkhorn was interested. Pitkin instead was worried, and he did an ice knife. Not gonna know how to make that, surely not. So, oh, I didn't go over that, by the way. The whole freezing thing with salt and ice to lower the temperature. That's actual science. Because you think to yourself, well, doesn't salt melt ice? Why would it make things colder? It does. Because salt water freezes at a lower temperature, which means it can go colder than ice. You can actually reduce the temperature when you add more ice to salt water. The salt water becomes colder than -0, and it keeps going so it doesn't freeze. So you can actually get a colder core temperature out of salt water than you can with just ice. -0, sorry, 0, I know, yeah. I know, I termed that wrong. As a mad scientist, you can confirm this. There we go. Confirmed by Alchemist, who is an alchemical genius, as I understand it. Right, anyway, let's go back through these guys. Pitkin, it's not him. It's either Blinkhorn. The ice, the water was just moisture. Okay. From the baths, therefore it's nothing to do with an ice weapon. I don't think the ice weapon has been used. It's a silver weapon instead, and a silver knife that was then thrown in the brazier. Right. You asked earlier then about if it was an ice weapon, why was there silver in the brazier? Let me show you. We found some documentation during our... Here we are, they're actually in here. During our earlier probings around the St. Albans dig site, just to go back over some of it. So, we'll go back over all of them. Tauroctomy knife. So, the knife that was used by Mithras for the tauroctony, the sacrifice of a bull, is originally a curved sacrificial blade of Persian origin. Curve can be from 5 to 15 degrees. So this is the famous knife of Mithras, the cult knife. The name is derived from the Persian shamshir, which means sword. Radically curved sword family includes the shamshir, scimitar, talwar, kilji, or kilij rather, pulwar, and the Mongol saber. The myth of the golden knife is the key to some of the Mithratic mysteries that some describe as the equivalent to the Holy Grail. The golden knife carries a curse that will spill the blood of the unworthy who would dare touch it. Remember some of these words. Mithratic mystery, unworthy. We should go back to this one now. We found out that Sir Rodney Bentcliffe in Egypt discovered a mummy. The mummy was found with an enucleated eye, so stabbed in the eye with the broken orbital. It was posed in an unusual position. The right hand was tensed as if reaching out for something or someone. The mummy was buried upright. Rodney Bentcliffe's body, his right arm was propped up against the chair, like the seat in the alcove, with his hands stretching out. The body we found down in the underground area was also stabbed in the eye, the medieval one, stabbed in the eye, and his hand, but it was his left hand, not the right hand was pointing the right way. So, you know, whichever. But there's a theme here. Every time you hear Mithras, you hear Zathras in your head. Yeah, but which pronunciation of Zathras? Because there are many different pronunciations of Zathras. And apparently I have an email. Yep, it's my laptop. Wait, did that just talk about empty coconuts to imitate horses? Are we sure this isn't a Monty Python skit? Yeah. Zathras. Yes, Zathras. 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 You are seeing differences now, yes? I love that scene. That's the best scene in Babylon 5. It really is. More just for Ivanova's reaction to that. She was just like, oh God. No. Anyway, so the mummy was named the Desperate Mummy, again the worst Scooby-Doo episode ever, due to the peculiar characteristics. Nearby could be read in Latin, by the eye he was punished, for he saw he was not worthy. Right, remember again, by the eye, not worthy. Stabbed in the eye because they were not worthy. The mummy is believed to be Roman rather than Egyptian, so this was the start of Rodney Bencliffe being on the trail of the Mithratic knife, as some symbols found in the tomb were common with Mithratic mystery. Okay, so now we come to the Mithratic mystery. Yeah, there are 10 of us, well, 9 now. The cult of Mithras was a mysterious religion practiced within the Roman Empire from around the 1st to 4th century AD. The name of the Persian god Mithra, adapted by the Greek as Mithras, was linked in a new and distinctive imagery. Worshippers of Mithras had a complex system of 7 grades of initiation with ritualistic meals. Initiates would meet in an underground temples called Mithraea and were retained in large numbers. The iconic scenes of Mithras show him being born from a rock and slaughtering a bull. Not really relevant. Yeah, so there's the empty coconut thing. Empty coconuts they used to imitate the sound of horses' hooves. This must be part of the ritual. Another strange ritual for the old gods to keep the evil spirits away. Again, horses' hooves and Neptune, who created horses according to Greek myth, which I went over earlier on. The people feeling that the dark eye was upon them by the eye, okay, they see they were not worthy. So people who feel the dark eye is upon them would melt valuables in the fire. Sub-Saharan tribes burned fruits. The rich Roman families spared no expense melting silver or tin. It is not recorded if such valuable offerings were thrown away with the ashes or were later reused. So there you go. That's why we've maybe found silver in there. Which leads us to the tragic part, unfortunately. I don't think this one... had anything interesting in it. Yeah, this was just how they find all these tombs. But a brazier shouldn't be hot enough to melt the silver anyway. Maybe not. I mean, at the core of the fire, when it was fully raging, it could get to 900 degrees in there. I mean, clearly it melted the silver. Otherwise, whatever was thrown in there would still be mostly intact, right? Somebody didn't just grab a lump of silver and drop it in there. This silver was definitely coins that had been melted down because they tested the silver against a silver coin and found it was the exact same grade of silver that they used to mint coins in the British Isles. Anyway, here's the tragic part. When we went back to speak to Garrow, let's just go further down. So this is probably right at the very bottom. It appended the list. So Thursday, for example, he saw him leave. When he returned, it was very late. This is the thing, right? Remember we found an old Roman coin among Sir Rodney's belongings. When he returned, it was very late. He showed me some wet coins, Roman coins, and started to laugh. He probably found those at the St. Albans dig site. Now look at this. His ring, when we showed Garrow the ring, the one that was crudely repaired, probably by Garrow, he said it should be destroyed. This ring he found probably on the mummy that he found in Egypt, the Roman who'd been mummified after being stabbed in the eye, who was not worthy. So Garrow feels that the ring was linked to the curse, or it was cursed, you know, by extension of the fact that the person they found it on must have been killed by the curse, right?